Hi socialites, and welcome to yet another beautiful and interesting tutorial. Guys, I know it's been a while, but pardon me, a lot has been happening behind the scene. So with that being said, guys, I bring to you the pattern drafting and the sewing of this particular high-waisted ruched sleeve top. And one of the catch for this tutorial is that I made sure I showed you how to avoid the zipper bulge for this particular top, how to eliminate the zipper bulge, because if you just do it the normal way, you're going to have a zipper bulge at the back. So here is the ruched sleeve area. I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know about this particular top. So if you're interested in this one, which I'm very sure you are, please sit right back, relax, and enjoy watching. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't, and give this video a like. And here is the fabric placement. So for the fabric placement, I placed on fold like so, with this particular part of the fabric acting as the center fold. So for the width of the fabric, I used 32 inches. You can use less than that if you do not want yours to be too long on the sleeve area. So I used 32 for the width, and then I had to iron out the fold, and then I proceeded with the marking of the width. Like I said, I used 32 inches for the width. Now that we have the width, I proceeded to marking out the length of the top, which is the under bust plus 4 to 5 inches allowance. That depending on how full you want it to be as well. So the under bust is 14 inches, and then I added an extra 5 inches, making 19 inches for the length of the top. Okay, so it depends on how full and how wide you want it to be. So that's going to determine the extra allowances you are going to be adding. So here I used a total of 19. I think I even used 20 inches at the end of the day, so that it drops just like we can see on Vicky James. So that's the length I used here, and then I had to join all the points together vertically and horizontally, just as you can see me do. So here we have the width of the fabric and the length of the fabric, and then I proceeded to cutting that out. So this is what we have for the front. Okay, we are going to skip this aside and then cut the back. So for the cutting of the back, I basically repeated what I did to the front, except for the addition of the zipper allowance. So like I said, the width I used 32 inches plus the zipper allowance of 1.5. So the width for the back was 33.5 inches. Okay, then for the length, I did the same thing. I used the same 20 inches. Okay, so this for the width, and then for the length, like I said, I used the same length as the front, which is 20 inches. So I have those marked out and also connected, and have that cut out just like I did to the front. Like I said earlier, if you do not want the top to be too bogus, you can reduce both the length and the width. You can see the difference between the two that I'm wearing here. One is fuller than the other. Okay, so I got the front, I placed on the back, as you can see. So you can see the placement. This is the center fold for the front, and this is the zipper allowance at the back. So from the center fold of the front, I marked the neck width, which is 3 inches, and for the neck depth, I'm going to be marking that of the back first, because I'm marking them together, which is 1.5 inches. Okay, so this is the neck depth for the back, and then for the front, I used 3.5 inches for the neck depth of the front. Okay, so at the side here, I'm going to be marking the opening for the sleeve. That's the armhole opening for the sleeve area. I'm going to be using a total of 13.5 inches, because I'm going to be using half inch to join at the upper part. So the width for the opening of the arm is 13 inches. Like I said, if you want it minimized, you can use like 10 to 11 inches. Okay, so from that 13 inches, I marked 2 inches inward. This is for the fold edge of the sleeve. Okay, that's for the folding of the sleeve, just like this. Do you get? So from there, I come down from the center fold of the front. I'm going to be marking the under bust round measurement divided by 4. I have that marked out, and then I added an extra 15 inches. Okay, like I said, it depends on how full you want yours to be. You can use 10, you can use 12 extra after marking out your under bust round measurement divided by 4. So from these 2 inches at the side there, I connected down to this part like so. Can you see the connection? So I had the 2 points connected with the help of a curve, just as you can see. So that's how the connection of this side goes. So I proceeded to cutting out the neckline. This for the back, and then this is for the front. and then I opened up the back. I separated the two back, that's the zipper allowance area, and then at this side I cut out exactly what I have marked out already. So this is what they both look on both the neck side area and then the lower side of the blouse. Okay, so I put that aside, and then for the band of the blouse I'm going to be using this fabric as well. I have it placed on fold. Then for the width of the band, you are going to be using the waist and the under bust strand measurements divided by 4. So for the under bust strand measurements and the waist divided by 4, so whichever one is bigger, that's the width of the band. Do you understand? So for here, the waist measurement is bigger, which is 32 inches. The under bust strand is 30. I divide by 4 plus 1.5 inch seam allowance. So that gave me the width that I marked out here. Do you understand? So whichever one is wider, you divide it by 4, add your seam allowance to get your width. So for the length of the band, I'm going to be using a total of 8 inches for the length of the band, okay? And that's what I have been marked out at this point. So I have those points marked out and then connected horizontally just like so. So at this upper part, I'm going to be marking the under bust strand measurement divided by 4, which gave me 7.5. I added 1.5 inch seam allowance, which gave me 9 inches. Then at the waist measurement, we already have that marked out. So I'm just going to be connecting the 2 points like so, and I have that cut out. So this is going to be the band for the front. I have the center area notched, and this is what the front looks like. So I'm going to be cutting out the back. So I placed the rest of the fabric on fold, placed the front on it, and have the zipper allowance of 1.5 inches marked out, and then I proceeded to cutting out the back band as well. Okay, so this is what the cutting of the back band looks like. I separated the zipper allowance, have the center area notched as well. So by the time I open up, this is what I have for the front, and this is the back. Okay, now here is the catch. To have a well laid back, to avoid any kind of bulging at the back, I'm going to be showing you what to do. So for the bands, we are going to be taking out some inches from the back. Like we all know, the half waist of the front is always longer than the back. So by the time you minus it, whatever extra you have, you take that out from the length of your back. That's the back, the band of the back, I mean. Okay, so I have that taken out, which is 1.5 inches. So you can see obviously the front is longer than the back. So to make sure they are equal at the side, I had to cut from the side to the center fold of the front upward like so. So for the front, we are going to be having like a curved upper center area of the front. So you can see how it looks like. So if I open it up, you can see how that went. This is just to make sure that we avoid every form of bulging at the back, and you can see that the sides are now equal. Okay, so with that being said, it's time for us to stitch. So this is what the front looks like, and this is the facing. I'm going to be stitching around the neckline of both the front and the back, or a neckline area. Okay, so I have that stitched at this point, and I have ironed. Always make sure you press as you stitch. This is going to give you a very good finishing at the end of the day. So this is what the back looks like, and then here's the front. So at this point, I'm going to be stitching the shoulder area using 1/2 inch, just like so, all the way from the neck down to the sleeve point. Okay, so I have that done, and this is what we have. So the shoulder is being joined together like so, the front and back, and this is what the stitching looks like. Can you see that? So this is what we have for the round neckline for the front and then the back. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to have our sleeve folded. You know, we added 2 inches seam allowance for the zipper, so I have that 2 inches taken, and I have it ironed out. So I'm going to be stitching or hemming the sleeve allowance. As you can see, you can use 1/2 inch or 1 inch to fold in. That is the first folding before the second one, so depending on how wide you want your hemming to look. So after stitching or hemming the sleeve area, this is what we have. So for the elastic part, that's the folding or the ruffles we have at the shoulder area, I'm going to be using this 1/2 inch elastic. So at the joining of the shoulder area, that's where the joining of the front and back is, that's where I'm going to be stitching this elastic on while I pull as I stitch. Okay, so this is going to give us that ruffle look. I'm not going to be stitching all the way to the neckline. I'm going to be starting and finishing 1 inch before the neckline and 1 inch before the hem of the sleeve. Okay, so this is what the stitching looks like. So you start stitching and then you start pulling your elastic so it gives that ruched look or ruffles that we have on the sleeve area, as you can see on your screen. So I did that to both sides of the sleeve, and afterwards this is what we have it looking like. Can you see? So this is what it should look like. You can also use gathers to do this, but I prefer the elastic. So once more, this is what it looks on the table. So this is what the sleeve area looks like. Can you see? We have that. So for the band, I'm going to be stitching the lower part of the band using 1/2 inch like so, with the interfacing. At this point I already had the interfacing cut out. So this stitching is both for the front and the back band. So I have the back and the front band already stitched with their interfacing, and this is what they look like at the end of the stitching and ironing. Okay, I have the zipper allowance already ironed and folded, and with this we can obviously see the difference between the back and the front. So I took out the back, and then I have the center of the front marked out or notched, and then I get the upper part of the blouse. Okay, I'm going to be putting that together, but before I do that, I have to mark out the under bust round measurements. So I have to measure out so that I mark out the excess or the seam allowances at the upper band area, and then also the waist. So I have that marked out, and this is what I have as the under bust round measurement divided by 2. Okay, this is divided by 2 at this point. The waist area divided by 2, whatever the seam allowance, you have that marked out on the sides as well. So this is where the stitching is going to lie. So I get the center, upper, front, and the band. I have that pinned together. So at this side, can you see this curved area that we have here? You just take out 1/2 inch. After the 1/2 inch, you place on your marked out measurement. I hope you can see that. Just take out 1/2 inch after the curve, and then you have that pinned. So this excess that we have here, we are going to be gathering it on the band. Can you see? So you gather to the point that you exhaust all the excesses that we have at the upper part of the blouse. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the same thing to the back. This is the curved area. I have that point here, and then this is the zipper allowance for the back, and then I get the band. I measure the under bust round measurement. This is what it is, and then the waist measurement divided by 4 again. This is what we have, and then I have the 2 points connected. So I place the zipper allowance of the upper part and the band together. I get the side, and then this is the point, and then after 1/2 inch, just take out 1/2 inch from this point, and then I have that placed together like so. I'm going to be using a pin to hold it down, and then I gather just like I did to the front as well. Okay, I hope this is simple enough. So with this explanation, let's proceed to the stitching machine, where we are going to be doing the practical. So this is what the stitching of the gathers on the band looks like. You can use your gathered stitch if you don't want to use a freehand, whichever one that makes your job easier, please, I advise you go for it. So this is me using a freehand to make my gathers, because I can do both freehand and then using a gathered stitch. So after stitching, this is what we have on the band, and on the table this is what it looks like. I have it stitched, and then it's left for us to join the sides or to close the sides of the top. Okay, so for the closing, I'm going to be marking from this point 1/2 inch, and then at the under bust round area I measure again to make sure I get the actual measurement. At the waist area I do the same thing. So from the armhole, the sleeve area, I used 1/2 inch, and then from the under bust down to the waist I use the body measurement, and I'm going to be stitching around like so. And guys, at the end of the day, this is how beautiful our top came out looking like. You can see that I have 2 of these tops. I made one fuller than the other. That's just to show you that you can play around with whatever measurement you want to use for this particular top. So for the brown top, like I said, I didn't use up to 32 inches for the width. I used about 25 to 27 inches for the width of the top, and then for the length I just added extra 2 to 3 inches for the length. That's if you don't want it as full as the blue one, and even if you want it fuller, you can, you know, go ahead and add as much as you can, but make sure that at the end of the day the outcome is worth the whole stress. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. Thank you for watching, and see you in my very next tutorial. Bye.